I would be gone right now. I would put myself into a shelter and move myself. I would have done that. It's because I was scared and afraid for my life. When I moved here in 2009, I wasn't going to move in this building. But my sister moved here in 2008, and I was afraid of this building.
The Alms in particular, it was on the chronic nuisance list. If you just look at every single computer-aided dispatch incident that the police keep track of at that address, you'd probably have hundreds and hundreds over the course of a year. And the police that were going in to respond to all these incidents kind of noticed that the condition of the building is kind of diminishing, that it's getting worse and worse over time. We have a right of entry agreement which basically says, police department, you can come onto our property and chase off trespassers, people that aren't supposed to be here, drug dealers and whatnot. They revoked that and said, we don't want you on our property now for any reason whatsoever, which is obviously a big concern to us. So in response to that, we obtained an administrative search warrant to come in and do an inspection of the entire building, showed up on a day and served the warrant, brought I think like a half dozen building inspectors, a fire inspector, the health inspector to come along and just document exactly what's going on. So at the end of that, I think we issued something like 32 pages of orders to the owners. It's a difficult situation you find yourself in when you want to make sure things are progressing as quickly as possible for the protection of the tenants and the community. This is a realistic matter. You try to use every tool at your disposal to keep the receiver on track, to make sure that they're being responsive, because it's a long road to getting everything fixed. I think the receiver has also recognized that this isn't like a prison necessarily either. You know, they've made allocations to replace the playground at the Alms. You know, they want to replace the security cameras, stuff that, you know, HUD doesn't require, the city doesn't require, the tenants asked for, but they did because they recognize, hey, you know, we've got to make this work, you know, and we're trying to make this a place that people want to live. The amount of impact that this case could have on bettering communities, I think, is greater than any other case that I've done. And it's good that we're doing it as opposed to just kind of letting it sit there and deteriorate.